right, hey guys. So, women's soccer news, what's going on this week? Yeah, it's been a pretty busy week. We're in the middle of an international break. The UEFA Nations League is going on. The US women's national team, they have two friendlies against South Africa. So, yeah, it's a pretty busy time in women's soccer. But for this video, I want to talk about Germany and also Spain. So, starting off with Germany in the UEFA Nations League. Um, yeah, they're not doing too good. They lost 2-0 to Denmark, which was, I guess it was surprising, but at the same time, it wasn't surprising because when I first heard of this match between Denmark and Germany, when I saw that they were going to be playing against each other, originally, a long time ago, I would say Germany would be able to win against Denmark. But given Germany's performance in the World Cup and leading up to the World Cup and all the issues they have with the coaching staff and Martina Voss-Tecklenburg, I just wasn't sure. I thought the match could go either way, but I was still disappointed when I heard Germany lost 2-0 to Sweden. And the thing is, Martina Voss-Tecklenburg, she wasn't here for this particular match. She is dealing with an illness, and the new, I guess, I don't want to say new coach, but the one that's taking over for now is Britta Karlsson. Mispronounced that. But yeah, she's taking over. And from what I heard from other Germans who watched the game, other German national team fans who saw the game, a lot of them seem very frustrated with Alex Popp in the attack. And the thing is, since I only saw like highlights of the game, so I don't know if like what went on entirely. I'm guessing they had Popp up top in the attack, which isn't surprising. That's kind of the thing. So I can imagine Alex Popp is up top in the attack. Germany could be playing in a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. And I think Popp could have been the one that, the wingers were trying to get the ball to. I wrote an article about this, like after the World Cup, in regards to Germany's strategy or attacking strategy. And the thing is, a lot of it revolves around Alex Popp, like getting the ball to Popp by any means necessary. And the thing is, it's not working anymore. In the Euro, that's what Germany did. That was how Germany made it all the way to the finals in the Women's Euro last year. It was get the ball to Popp by any means necessary. And the thing is, Popp was scoring. Like, Popp was, scoring in every game. But then, in the final, when Popp was injured and couldn't play, there was no strategy for Germany, because the plan in the Euro, like after Martina saw that she was doing well, it was get the ball to Popp by any means necessary. And the thing is, I feel like the coaching staff is trying to hang on to that success in the Women's Euro last year. They're trying to hang on to that and bring it to, well, they were trying to bring it into the World Cup. They were trying to bring it into, now they're trying to do it with the UEFA Nations League. But the thing is, you can't do that anymore. You can't have Alex Popp be the main focus, like the main focus of your attack. You can't have her be your only attacking option, because everyone knows Alex Popp already. Everyone knows her. Everyone's going to be looking out for her. Like, do you not think coaches on the opposing team are going to be like, hey, Alex Popp is going to be a problem. You guys may want to watch out for her. And it's like, do you not think goalkeepers are going to have a conversation with their defenders? Like, hey, Alex Popp? Yeah, you need to do something about her. Watch out for her in particular. And, like, do you not think the back line or the defenders are going to have a conversation with each other? All right, who's going to be marking Alex Popp? No, I think all of us should. Yeah, and that's the thing. Teams are recognizing Alex Popp's ability. My cat's like right here and he's judging me. Yeah, so teams are automatically watching out for Alex Popp. Like, they saw what she can do in the Euro when she has the ball at her feet. They saw what she does at Wolfsburg with the ball at her feet or her head. But it's not going to work now because people know her already. People are going to be on the lookout for her already. And the thing is, in order for Germany to be successful, they have to work on their other attacking options. They have to work with Leah Schüller. They have to work with Clara Buhl, Eula Brand, Nicole Aniomi, Laura Freigen. And I just have one question for everybody, and that is, what does the German national team, what does Martina, DFB, Britta Carlson, what do they have against Laura Freigen? Like, I don't get it. I don't get like why they can't play Laura Freigen a little bit more. Like, she definitely has potential in the attack. I think when Eintracht Frankfurt played Wolfsburg last year, didn't she put like 3 or 4 goals away against Wolfsburg? Yeah, it's just Germany has plenty of attacking options, but it comes down to whether the coaching staff wants to work with them or work on them. It just seems like the focus is mainly on Alex Popp instead of building the younger players on the national team. The thing is, there's so many good and talented players on the German national team, and I don't know, I'm just getting the sense that the coaching staff and the DFB are scared to try something new and move on to trying to work with other players. Like, they're trying to cling to the Euro when they were the most successful. But the thing is, women's soccer strategies, tactics, they all grow and change. And because of that, you have to be willing to make changes and even take risk. There's also something else I noticed. So I've been following Germany's women's national team since 2021. There was, during the qualifiers, the qualifiers for the World Cup, Alex Popp missed those because she was dealing with a knee injury. And it seemed like Martina Voss-Tecklenburg was focusing more on Clara Buhl and Leah Schüller, like building their attacking chemistry, and then throw in Lena Megel and the other forwards. And that was going really well. Leah Schüller and Clara Buhl were connecting really well in the attack. They were scoring a lot of goals. But then in the Euro, it was like Alex Popp got better, like she recovered from her knee injury, and all the focus turned away from Clara Buhl and Leah Schüller, and was more focused on Alex Popp. And that was just something I noticed. Again, so when it comes to the German women's national team, they have to start developing the younger players. They have to start working with them because they're the future of the national team. The biggest question I had in one of my articles was, what happens when Alex Popp retires? And the thing is, I don't think they know. But yeah, so that was kind of, I didn't watch the German national team, but given what I saw from the reaction from a lot of fans, like a lot of fans weren't happy with Alex Popp's performance. And that's the thing, you can't just rely on one player. I never understood the whole idea of building a team around one player, especially when you have so many attacking options. Let's take England's women's national team. Do you think everyone on the team is just relying on Alessia Russo? Thank God, no. But it's not just Russo, it's the whole team. I mean, do you think Spain's women's national team, do you think they're only reliant on Alexia Putellas? No, it's the whole team. And when it comes to Germany, you can't just rely on Alex Popp and Lena Oberdorf in the midfield. You can't just rely on them and Merle Franz to save the team. It's everybody. Everyone has a role to play on the team. And yeah, when it comes to Germany's attack, they have to start working with the new players. They have to start working with the younger players and getting them developed and ready. And they have to try something new in regards to tactics and strategy. Or else, if not, then Germany is going to, unfortunately, crash and burn out of the Nations League. All right, so moving on to another national team, Spain's women's national team. I don't know who told me that this is just going to get worse. They were right, because it did get worse, but I guess it's starting to get better. I don't know. We'll have to see. It seems like every week when I talk about Spain's women's national team, there's always something going on. All right, so Montse Tomé, the new, this is going to be really funny later when I get into it, but Montse Tomé, the new coach for the Spain women's national team, she selected, the players for the Nations League. And the thing is, she picked the 22, 23 players that were striking, that didn't want to be called up. And the thing is, there was a lot of pressure on the players to show up, because apparently in Spain, if they didn't show up for the national team, they could have their professional license suspended, but also be fined, I think 30,000 or 3,000. I'm not sure the amount, but they could be fined a lot of money if they don't show up for the national team, which I find is ridiculous. But and then it gets more interesting, because apparently the Spanish government got involved. I think it's the CSD. They got involved, and they told the players to show up. So they did. The players showed up to the national team camp. But the twist here is the government, the CSD, also showed up. And so they were having this meeting, I think last Monday or last Tuesday, about, and also the government was involved too. So the Spanish Football Federation was there, the players were there, and the government was there. And so apparently they were having this really intense meeting that went to almost 4:30 or 5 a.m. in the morning. And eventually, after hearing everything that went on with the Spanish Football Federation, Jenny Hermoso, all this stuff going on, and even the players' demands for change, the government, the CSD, ended up siding with the players. So the upside to this whole thing is they're going to, the Spanish Football Federation, they're going to change. They have no choice, because the government is here, the CSD is here, and they sided with the players in regards to their demands. So for this week, there's been a lot of people resigning, getting fired, losing their positions, forced to resign, so on and so forth. That's all well and good. And then there was also an interesting thing when it came to the meetings. The government was they were aware about if the players didn't show up, they would have their professional license suspended, and they'll be fined. Well, the government was there, and they said that any players that want to leave the national team or leave the camp, they can. And I think Mappy Leon and Petri, they both decided to leave the national team because they weren't going to be punished. And the rest of the players on the national team, Alexia Putellas, Aitana Bonmati, Misa Rodriguez, they all had the option to leave the national team and go home because they weren't going to be punished. But what was very interesting, that gave me so much respect for the national team, for those players, is the fact that they were willing to stay. And Alexia Putellas, in an interview, she explained the reason why they were staying, and it was because they were experienced in this area. If they were all to leave, if all those players were to leave, Alexia, Aitana, Misa, all of them, if they all left, then this would be a problem for the U23 team or the U20 team. Those players would be called up, and they don't have experience dealing with what the current national team players are going through. So the reason why they stayed, because a lot of people were like, why didn't the players just go home? Why they could go home, they weren't going to be punished. They were staying because they didn't want the U23 players, the U20 players, to go through what they're going through. So that was a very powerful thing that the players are doing. They're willing to stay in order to protect the younger players who probably don't have experience in this area, who could even be taken advantage of. So it's good that it's good that they stayed. On on some brighter news, though, when it came to not Germany, Spain's match against Sweden, apparently a lot of the players did not get that much sleep. They ended up winning against Sweden 3-2. And so, yeah, I guess it's good that they stayed, but it's also very impressive with like the lack of sleep. They still managed to pull off an awesome win. Well, I mean, I guess that's the upside about there's always coffee and energy drinks. I remember throughout college I was running on energy drinks. But yeah, it was very interesting to see like this whole thing going on with Spain's women's national team and the Spanish Football Federation and even the government getting involved. It took the government getting involved, like the CSD, it took them getting involved in order for things to change. And the reason why Mappy Leon and I think Patry, the reason why they left is because they actually want to see those changes. They want to make sure that the Spanish Football Federation is going to change. They're going to do as they say. And it seems like their idea of what they're probably thinking is, I'll believe it when I see it, which is totally valid and totally understandable. But it seems like the Spanish Football Federation, with the pressure of the CSD, they kind of have no choice. So yeah, there's been people getting fired, forced resignations, people being replaced. So yeah, that's a good thing. Hopefully there's no other news to report in regards to Spain's women's national team. Hopefully things are going to work out for the best. But I guess it's one of those things. We'll have to see. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys today or tonight. KC checking back in, mainly because I forgot to mention something. So Montse Tomé, she is currently the head coach of Spain's women's national team. But she's only allowed to coach for these 2 games in the UEFA Nations League. After these 2 matches, after Spain's next match against, I can't remember, after Spain's next match, Montse Tomé, she is no longer going to be the head coach of the Spain women's national team. So it seems like Spain is going to be looking for a new head coach, maybe an interim head coach. I've seen people speculating that it could be Barcelona's head coach or Real Madrid's head coach who could be coaching the national team next. But yeah, that has yet to be seen. So I'm guessing the Football Federation, they're going to be looking for a new interim head coach for Spain's women's national team. But yeah, when it comes to Montse Tomé, I do remember a lot of people were very skeptical of her. And yeah, unfortunately, it just turns out that she is just another puppet of the Federation, another puppet of the system. She wasn't going to bring any real change for the national team. And I think that was obvious when she called up the 22 or 23 players that said that they didn't want to be called up. She called them up anyway, and yeah, she didn't have to, but she did. And it kind of just goes to show that, yeah, she was just another puppet of the system. So yeah, a lot of people were right about her, or were right to be skeptical of her. But yeah, so I'm just going to end it there. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys today or tonight, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.